Okay, example 2 on page 297. We're going to work with solving one-step equations with decimals. Now, if I was to compare example 1 with example 2, example 2 is so much easier than example 1 in terms of having to solve equations with decimals as opposed to fractions. And really, when you think about it, it's just basically our lack of understanding of fractions. We understand decimals a little bit better than we do fractions. So if we look at A is a very easy question. It says negative 1.2x equals negative 3.96. And really, this question could be taken directly from the grade 8 textbook when we did the same thing. It's a decimal coefficient. Now, if I asked you, what does this look like if it was like example 1, where it was fractions, it would be negative 1 and 1/5 x equals negative 3, and well, 96 hundredths is 48 50ths, which is 24 25ths. So that's 24 25ths. You can check that out. That's actually equivalent to 96 hundredths. That's what the question would look like if it was in fraction form. And when we look at that top one, we're like, man, that looks much more complicated than the other one. Because when I take this original equation with decimals, I just know I have to, that's supposed to be a 1. I have negative 1.2x, so I'm going to divide both sides by negative 1.2. I'm left with x equals, and I have to divide both sides by 1.2. Now, I'm not 100% confident with my division, so I take my calculator out and I go 3.96 divided by 1.2 equals 3.3. So my answer is negative divided by negative is a positive, so positive 3.3 is my x, or just 3.3. All right, that's the first example. Let's look at the second example. The second example says r over 0.28 equals, where's my pen? Equals, oh, this is black now, negative 4.5. All right, this is slightly more difficult in that we have a fractional coefficient. We actually have 28 hundredths. So if I was to look at this, this is actually 28 hundredths r, right? We don't have the full r, we have 28 hundredths of r. But actually, I'll just erase this like this. What we're going to do is we're going to multiply both sides by the fractional coefficient. We're going to multiply both sides by 0.28. If I divided r by this number, and then I multiplied it by that, those two cancel each other out, leaving me with just my variable r. And over here, again, I'm going to need to pull up my calculator. And it's right here, somewhere, right there. And I go 4.5 times decimal 28 equals 1.26. Negative divided by positive is a negative, so negative 1.26 is the value of r. Okay, that's much easier, isn't it? All right, let's try the show you know. Let's try one just for giggles, and let's see how we do. U equals 1.3 divided by 1.3 equals 0.8. So there's our equation. So I look at that and say, okay, that's a fractional coefficient. I'm dividing u right here. I'm dividing by u by 1.3. I don't have a full u. I'm dividing its value by 1.3. So if I multiply it by 1.3, those two will cancel each other out, leaving me with u, or me, or both of us. And I multiply this side by 1.3. 0.8 times 1.3. Can I do that in my head? Let's see if I can do that. That's 1.04. Wouldn't that be great if I could do that? 1.3 times 0.8, 1.04. I am amazing. 1.04. Is it positive? Yes, it is. So u equals 1.04. And since we're so excited to do the next one, we might as well do one more. Since I have your attention this long, I might as well keep it going. The second example is 5.5k. This is the bottom of 297. Equals negative 3.41. Well, this is much easier even than the last one because I don't have a fractional coefficient. I have a numerical coefficient. It's actually a fraction too because it's a decimal, but that's another story. Divide both sides by 5.5. Divide this side by 5.5. Multiplying by 5.5 and dividing by 5.5, leave me with k. 3.41 divided by 5.5, no clue. 3.41 divided by 5.5 equals 0.62. Negative divided by a positive is a negative. So my answer is k equals negative 0.62. Hope that was helpful.